just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Rich,
please.
The highest podcast in Los Santos.
Rich, please. Rich, please. Rich, please. I'm so fucking rich. Rich, please. Rich, please. Rich, please. I'm so fucking rich.
Hello, poor people!
Hello, poor people!
Hello, it is I, Evangelo Verminski.
And it is I, Fincent Brenevere the Third.
And together we are Rich Please.
Yes,
We have a variety of a show for you today from the perspective of rich people, us. You're welcome, poor people.
You're welcome, poor people.
Yes,
you get to
so
listen to, unfortunately, yes.
Yes, unfortunately, yes, is what you get to listen to. Now, Vincent, what did you get up to this last... Oh, God damn it, Constantine. I said don't press...
God damn it, Constantine, you're an absolute...
Constantine!
Constantine is always doing
Son
this.
of a bitch.
Do you know what I'm going to do later?
So sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This past week has been crazy. Do you want to tell them?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm just going to, I don't know, he's messed up our sound, so we're going to blast his ears out with something.
Yes, we're
something, I
going to
guess.
blast his ears out. We're going to blast, what is the name of that song? In the Middle of the Night.
Oh,
And
God.
we're going to blast that on repeat for 47 days until his eardrums
Full
bleed.
volume. Yes.
You ever do that again, Constantine? Well, have you killed? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a hell of a show for you today. Vincent, what were you doing this last
Oh,
week?
golly, so recently I decided my 213 supercars were not enough for me, you see, so I went out.
Only 213, you modest bastard. Oh,
Oh, how many
Vincent.
do you have, darling?
Oh, Vincent, I don't want to get into it. It's not a pissing contest. Unless you want to have a pissing contest
everything's
later.
a pissing contest when you're rich, darling.
And when you have Constantine to pee on, of course.
Oh, golly.
Bother.
Bother.
But yes, I definitely just went ahead and I just bought a limo out of nowhere because I was just like, again,
Oh, yes, of
200
course.
blah, blah, blah cars. I need another one. Went out and bought a limousine. It's called a limousine because it's beautifully lime-colored.
Limousine,
Yes. It is beautiful. It is amazing. Constantine has been hitting so many poor people in that car, just as I instruct him to do. I see a person on the side of the street. I'm like, you're poor. Constantine, you know what to do. He slams into them. They're like, I'm going to sue. I'm like, nice try, darling. No health insurance for you. And then they just, they go bankrupt or whatever. But yes, darling, what about you, Evangelo? What have you been up to recently?
Oh, bother. Well, I was watching some horses. They were racing, and then, well, they weren't racing in a circle. No, they were drag racing. You see, and they raced in a straight line. And unfortunately, there was an accident. There was a freak train accident, and spilled tons of gasoline. Needless to say, there's no more horse races at that place. It's completely obliterated to smithereens. It's now a glue factory. Yes, rich people. Oh, we're so resourceful.
Rich.
Oh, yes.
Oh, golly, rich, please.
Rich,
There you
please.
go.
All right, Vincent. Would you rather? It's time for Would You Rather, the game where me and Vincent here try to choose between two possible choices to see who is the most right. Are you ready, Vincent?
I am very ready. What is your first would you rather today, Evangelo? What is it?
First, would you rather is, would you rather get taken hostage by poor people or mauled by a puma?
Did you say poor people?
I did.
Oh, that is like a trigger word for me. See, I hear poor people, I'm like, whatever the
I'm
other
so
thing is,
sorry.
darling. The puma, of course. Oh, golly.
Oh, yes, the puma.
Because they would have to
Yes.
touch me, right, darling? Oh, pull me or put something over my head. If a poor person touches me, do you know what I do? I instantly go and
my
have
God.
my diamond golden shower and get
Yes.
cleaned off that poor
5
people's
minutes,
stink.
Vincent,
It's
yes.
disgusting, Tavangeli. What about you? What do
Yes.
you do in that situation? Are you the same?
Oh, well, you know, if I'm getting mauled by a puma, I will never have to see or smell or hear a poor person again. So I think it's a win-win for me and the
It
kitty.
is a win-win.
It is
Perfect,
a
darling.
win. Now let's move on to another Would You Rather. Here we go. What does it say here? Fight. Would you rather fight 10 goose-sized horses or 1 horse-sized goose? Oh, my, Vincent. What do you have to say about that one?
Well, you know how much I love a good roast goose for dinner. I love going hunting myself.
Yes.
I go out and hunt the geese. They honk and they honk, 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 honk. And do you know what I do when they honk?
Yes.
I kill them
What do you do?
harder. The more they honk, the more brutally I slaughter them, darling.
That's right. There you go. I always have
Ew.
Constantine take my shot for me. I don't
Oh,
want to
really?
get. I don't want the blood on my hands, but I want
Ew.
to have it killed. Kind of like a hitman for geese, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. See, because, darling, I love eating my roast goose so much, I would
Yes.
like to fight the 1 horse-sized goose, because imagine how much roast goose you could get from that horse-sized goose, rather than a tiny little normal goose, honk, honk, honk. So that's my answer.
true.
But what would you go for, Tavangeli? What is your line of
Oh, I
mind
would-
for this?
I have a mind to fight 10 goose-sized horses because, as you
Oh,
know,
really?
the horse show just closed down that I was at, and everyone burned, and
They did,
the
yes.
glue factory said, we're going to need more horses, so I would probably fight 10 goose-sized horses and capture a few of them for my own doing of racing and sorts and such. Vincent?
Oh, God, like those little miniature horses you see online and you laugh at them
Yes.
because they're small.
Yes, those
Right.
little mini ponies that are
ha,
advertised
ha.
as little cute
Yes.
cute animals, but actually
Yes,
bite the
those are the
shit
ones.
out of you, and they are right at schmeckle
golly.
level. Careful out there if you're buying a small, tiny horse, ladies and gentlemen. All right,
bite.
Vincent, they
They
bite.
bite.
Rich, please.
Time for the store. Vincent, do you know
Yes,
what time
darling.
it is?
It is story time, which is one of my favorite times of this show.
Yes. It's time that we turn our focus to the classics from a variety of stories. We will select our very favorite, and you can write into us to tell us what story we should choose next. Today, we are going to cover the story of Jacques and the Beanstalk.
Jacques.
Jacques and the Beanstalk, yes.
Yes.
Vincent, have you read this story? Were you read this story as a child?
Read this story as a child. I was indeed. You want to? I was told. So basically, there was this poor person with these little beans. They were like,
Oh, my.
they were disgusting, right? And you know, so this moral of the story that my father tried to teach me was never trust a poor person at all, even if they're saying they're selling you something good. It's a lie.
Oh,
So
my.
they basically sold him some, poor people beans. You know,
Poor people beans.
Jacques, who was, Jacques, the rich French boy, of course, at the time.
Yes.
You decided to plant them because the poor person was like, oh, these are beans with blah, blah, blah. But then it created a massive
God, he was
beanstalk to
swindled.
this guy. He was swindled indeed,
Swindles, that poor rich
Tavangeli.
person. It's a horror story, Vincent.
It's
I didn't realize.
it really is, darling. And then what
God, what
happened
happens
was, there's a big beanstalk, and instead of, him going up the beanstalk, poor people started pouring from the sky, climbing down the beanstalk, and basically the story was never trust a poor person, because poor people would come running down that beanstalk and they'll ruin everything. They destroyed the city, darling. They
God,
destroyed
Vincent.
the town, the castle, the everything, and Jacques was left desolate. That's how I remember it. What is that? How you remember it, Tavangeli?
I recall a slightly different version of
Oh, really,
the
darling?
story. Yes, my dear. It was my father told me that the giants lived harmoniously in their rich castles, looking down on everyone until the
Oh.
poor got a hold of the bean technology, you see, and they were able to try to climb their way back up to the top, and they almost made it, Vincent. They almost made it.
Oh, that must have been terrible.
But the Giants won out in the end, and they were able to get Jack to run down his goddamn stock, and they never saw him again, and it was a happy ending.
Oh God, good old happy ending for yours.
Yes,
Mine was
happy
terrifying.
ending.
I was terrified. I never trusted a poor
my.
person ever again, and rightly
Oh,
so.
my.
What did they do to
Rightly
get
so.
him back down the beanstalk? Pelt him with rocks? Pelt him with rocks?
No, this wasn't rocks. They were going to garnish his wages and withhold them. Yes, and all.
Oh, dude, we all love that. A little bit of that. Oh golly, it's hilarious.
Lord.
If you're not garnishing my eggs Benedict, you can get the hell out of my face with that bullshit. Oh,
100%, darling. Evangelo, do you know what?
no, I don't. Tell me what.
You are just absolutely the most fabulous person I know, darling.
You know what? We will definitely have an episode where we appreciate each other and probably just go back and forth
Of
with how
course.
great being rich is.
Oh, we're both rich, darling.
Yes, episode 69, we'll reserve that for that. I think that would be beautiful. And you know what else we'll
yes.
have in episode 69?
What, darling?
Let's take some callers. We will have some callers.
We
So-
love taking our callers. Do not
Yes,
forget
we
to bring,
do.
and we can bring, Constantine can bring you on into
Yes.
the call. Do we have any bringers today?
Callers on 101.1. Do we have any callers? Bring. Let's see if the thing. Oh, a couple of brings there. Let's get that first. Let's get that lower tone bring here.
The lower tone bring
Yeah,
first,
lower
and
tone
we'll go
bring
with the next
first.
second.
Yes,
Are you there,
hello.
caller?
Hello, is this thing on?
Yes,
Yes,
darling.
you're
Welcome on
live on the
into
radio.
Rich, please.
Jolly good. I call every week. It's
Oh,
me.
hello, darling.
Maxwell.
Preston Maxwell.
Jacobson.
Oh yes.
We know you very
Beautiful
well,
voice,
sir.
man.
We love you very
It's good-
much.
it's
Wonderful
good-
listener.
Good to be here. I have an issue, and I was looking for some advice.
Of course, darling,
Perfect.
always.
You came to the right place.
Yes, you see, last weekend we were out doing our weekly pheasant shooting,
Oh, yes. Yes.
and as my help was retrieving my gun for me and cleaning it, his hand accidentally touched mine.
No! Oh, can you repeat that again for the listeners, darling? Can you repeat it again?
Been amputated,
Repeat it
Maxwell.
again.
It's awfully quite embarrassing, actually.
Yes.
Oh, my.
You see, we were at a pheasant shooting, and when he went to clean my gun and hand
Yes.
it back to me,
Yes.
his hand actually
Oh,
touched
goodness.
mine.
Oh, goodness, that is truly awful, sir. So what is the next stage for you in this recovery?
Well, I suppose the pheasant shooting turned into a peasant shooting then.
Oh, God! Oh, goodness, Maxwell!
Yes.
Please.
You've done it,
Anyways,
Maxwell.
I was wondering how would you hope for this to not happen in the future?
Oh yes, of course. Has this happened to you before, Vincent?
It hasn't. You know what? Whenever I'm
What did you
around
do?
any poor people, I'm always wearing gloves. But you know what I've done to my gloves, you see? I'm
what
not
have you done
only...
to these gloves?
I've put a little, you know how, you know, little tasers? So like I've somehow...
Little tasers?
Well, I've electrified my gloves, and whenever I'm around poor people, you see, I turn them on. So if they get anywhere near my hands, they just get electrocuted. And I'm not going to lie, guys. It is very strong. It knocks them out, darling. It really does. And it's very efficient because then you've just got their cold body there, and you can dispose of it in any way possible. They tried to touch you. No, not today. Thank you very much. You know, that's my take. To Vengelo, do you have any edition.
Yes. So my method of dealing with this, and yes, I've had to do. Constantine has had this similar problem
Yes.
before. Is what I do is I go to a par 5 on the 18 holes. You see, I grab the biggest bertha I can find of a nice little club, and I say, "Go ahead and get your hands on the tee." And well, we have a little. We tee off a little bit, and when their fingers start flying, we know that they've learned their lesson. And I always get a hole in one, at least one hole in one every go. So careful out there, Constantine, if you're
Careful out
listening.
there.
You bastard. Maxwell, do you think you could employ those two tactics? Do you think that might work for you?
I think that's absolutely great. I really do. Q.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Maxwell, for being a returning caller. We love the listeners of Rich Peas very much. Thank you very much for coming today. Do we have any other callers? Don't forget to bring.
Bring.
There we
I
go.
have a bring.
We have a bring.
Caller.
Constantine, bring them in. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, caller. How
welcome
are
to
you
Rich
today?
Please.
Welcome to Rich Please.
Oh, how are you gentlemen doing today?
As handsome as we ever were.
Oh, Rich, darling, we're doing Rich. What is your name and what is your inquiry or question or anything you desire? Go ahead.
My name is
a
Akari, and my question is how do I make money faster? Because, as you see,
Make money fast.
Make money
Yes.
faster.
when I came into Los Santos, my
Yes.
father took all my money that he handed to
Oh,
me,
Daddy took your
and-
money. Oh,
and-
gosh.
and told me that I have to feel how it is to be a peasant.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness! Now,
God.
caller,
God.
did I hear you right? Your father took away all your money. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cut the fucking line. Hang up on that poor person immediately. Get them off the line. Off the line. Off the line.
Screw the poor. Look, okay, this man.
We don't
this
care
man
when you
might
go
have
poor.
once been rich.
Rich only.
Exactly.
Only, you know, your daddy took away that
disgusting my
money for a
ears.
reason, darling. Your
Yes.
daddy took away that money, and now you're poor, so you can just.
Yes.
Oh,
And
disgusting.
it's not
Disgusting.
us. So our best advice is to not be yourself and do whatever, pleases your father enough to give him back your money. It's so simple, darling.
Exactly. Just be
So
daddy's little
simple.
boy, get daddy's
Be
money
a good
back.
boy, and go or a good
Indeed.
girl, and just get that money back. Very simple. I'm sure it's very easy, whatever
Yes.
to do to win your father's good graces again.
You make money fast. When we already have all our money, we don't need to make more money. Oh, what
Oh,
a silly
God, no.
little poor
Money's
person
faster.
questions,
Please,
Evangelo.
Please, yes. I knew I could send, I sussed
Oh,
them out immediately.
you're good, darling.
Thank God we got a hold of that situation
Oh,
quickly.
yes.
The poor people could have ran wild with that. My God. Do we have any other callers?
Any other callers? Brings.
Last bring-a-ding-a-ding-dongs. Anybody? And it looks like the callers have dried up. Good. That might have just scared off the poor people, which you love to see.
yes.
Always
We
good.
do love to see that.
We do indeed.
Rich, please.
That's the motto indeed, and my friends, it's time to spin the wheel to be spun. Vincent, we have a whole plethora of different topics that we will spin from here and choose one of them. It could be
yes.
something that me and Vincent know a great deal, or something we know very little of about it. Vincent, would you go ahead and give
I
that wheel
will
a little
spin
tug?
that wheel.
The
Oh,
wheel, not
golly.
me. Oh, bother! And it's gonna land
There
on
we go. What did it land on, Evangelo?
space. Yes,
Space.
space.
Ooh.
Now, space is the new hot ticket. Have you heard about this, Vincent?
It is.
We have indeed a lot of colleagues in terms of not work colleagues, because imagine working, but our rich
Oh,
people in our
gross.
rich environment, in the boys' clubs, in all of these things. Everyone is so interested in going to space. What is your opinion,
Yes.
Evangelo? Do you, is that something that interests you?
It's genius if you ask me, because
yes.
where you can write off any tax going to space if you have something, you have plutonium, uranium, you need to get rid of space. Space is the answer for a lot of problems we've been having, Vincent. And you know, it's sad to say that some people have gone bankrupt and on their way to the moon have gone halfway and are stuck there. Hopefully they get back to us at some point with their money. But you know, it's really it's really more of a show-off. Who can get most satellites to crash into each other around the globe? And it's beautiful.
Yes.
So what do you believe? What's your take on the matter?
Well, do you know what? Space is a place which is free of the poor. You know, it's
Oh,
you
I
know,
didn't
there's
think of
no
it that
poor
way.
people in space, is there? It's
There are
also
no poor people in
expensive.
space.
You know, the rockets are so millions and billions of dollars
Yes.
go into making these things. So you know, a poor person in space, you're not going to find one of those. So of course, it's somewhere where I would want to be. I want to be as far away from a disgusting, stinky poor person as I possibly can. Of course.
I didn't think of it that
Yes.
way. Vincent, genius. Why not just waste all the natural resources so the poor people can't get a hold of them? It's genius,
and then we
Vincent.
move. All us rich people, we move. We leave the
All
poor
the
on this
yes.
desolate planet, which we've ripped
Yes.
raw. And then, you
Ripped
know,
raw?
purge the poor, screw the poor, whatever.
My God,
Rich,
Vincent.
please, you know, rich, please.
You know what? That is
Indeed.
Right, indeed. Oh my gosh, space,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, space. Unless
Space,
you're rich,
the place to be.
stay the hell away. Don't come near us. And
do
don't
not
park your
come near
vans
us.
next to our launch pads anyway. We will not be giving a shit about your stupid Dodge Caravans, and they will not be reimbursed for your stupidity. All right, Vincent!
Yes.
It's time for a game. Me and Fincent are rather adventurous lads, and we fancy ourselves
course.
quite the gamers. And today we have for you another rendition of Two Truths and a Lie. Vincent, are you ready?
I'm ready. Why don't you go ahead and go first and tell me your true
Yes.
truths and one lie?
Hey.
I will tell you which one it is. You will suss out the lie, and if you get it, you will gain a point. The person with the most points wins at the end. Here we go.
Ooh.
Two truths and a lie. Here are my three statements, Fincent. Number one, I once choked a man with a half-eaten baguette.
Oh.
Number two, I farted champagne then drank it at a bachelor party. Or number three, at boarding school, I once lit one of the poor teachers on fire. Three statements,
Oh,
Vincent. You
goodness.
must suss out the lie.
Well, the first person was French, so you definitely instantly stabbed him. Like I did, you know, he's holding a baguette. He's a French man. Stabby, whatever. Poor, blah, blah, blah. I totally
I
believe
love
that
the
first one
selective
is
hearing.
true.
It's beautiful.
Oh, really?
All right, what of the second one? What of the second one, Vincent?
Will you repeat the second one for me, darling?
Yes.
I once farted champagne, then drank it at a bachelor party.
Okay. Whose bachelor party was this?
Oh yes, this was Billie Jean, and she was turned out not to be my daughter, and so naturally I left right after the finding out of this information.
Yes, and you deprived her of all the money that you
Yes.
invested in her before.
I have a
Yes.
little deprivation tank, and it's literally just an empty pool.
Okay, and the last one was, well, I went to boarding school with you,
Yes,
and
you did.
I do actually remember.
You remember?
I remember.
Do you remember?
That stupid board teacher, and you
Yes.
lit up a blaze. It was
Yes.
a wonderful day. You didn't even get suspended or
Yeah,
anything.
no,
the headmaster was
yes,
just like,
Longjohnson, yes, she was immediately fired after being
Yes.
put on fire, and we really did the Lord's work that
Oh,
day. you
yes,
know
we
what?
did. I agree. How old were we? 13?
13, yes, that
Yes,
sounds about right.
yes.
13, 12. I hadn't had my first hair yet, so yeah, about
Yes.
13 sounds right, Vincent.
Okay,
Oh,
darling.
bother.
hey, darling.
All right, which
this-
one is the
this
lie,
is the-
Vincent?
One. Because I believe,
Yes.
it's hard because I really believe them all.
I know you
I
do,
know
Vincent,
the
that's
last
why
one
I
is
can't wait. That's
true.
why I love this game.
So it's a 50-50 between the first and the
50-50.
second.
What shall it be?
I believe the first one was a lie.
Oh, Vincent, you were so close, so
Oh,
close.
no.
It was actually the second one.
Oh,
I farted in champagne and then made Constantine drink it, of course. Ha ha ha! Yes.
Oh, you got me on that
Fart-infused
little hiccup there,
crystal.
darling.
Yes.
Oh, very,
Oh,
very,
bother.
very good.
Good try, Vincent. How about your three statements? Let's hear them.
Okay, darling. First statement. I once had to use a public. I once had to
I'm
use
sorry?
a public
Yes?
restroom. Oh God, it's yes.
God, I hope that's not
I
true.
do because I got food poisoning from a
Oh, my.
stupid poor person chef catering my event.
Oh my God, Vincent.
Yes, and
So
number
sorry to hear
two.
that. Yes?
Number two is I have 24 cousins who are all rich, and we all got together one day, and we had a big
Yes.
old bash at the
Oh, a bash,
Brenevere
you say?
mansion.
Oh, the Bernaville mansion, of
Of
course.
course,
Now-
darling.
Okay, and your third statement, good sir?
Okay, this is quite a funny one. When I was younger, I actually had a dream of being a fireman. Oh,
Starting
God.
fires, of course.
Oh
Starting
God,
fires,
yeah,
of course.
yes, darling. Okay, that is my
Oh.
three. What is your guesses?
All right, Vincent. Well, your first one again, Vincent. Remind me, what is your first statement, Vincent?
First statement was. Oh, the public restroom.
Oh, the public. I knew it was so traumatic. My own memories wouldn't let me even think
me
those
too, darling. I
words.
try and forget about it every day eventually.
Now, was it coming out both ends, or was it just one of the ends? there,
It was
Vincent?
just the back end. It wasn't the
Just the
forwards.
back end.
It was not the forwards
Oh.
propulsion. It was just the sitting down explosion.
You put it in reverse, and there you have it. My goodness. All
Yes.
right. And what was the food that was served? That made
It
you
was
sick,
actually, what was it? It was fresh salmon from, so it was a lakeside
Ew.
event, you know, and it
A
was
lakeside salmon, you say?
yes,
My
it was a
God, no
lakeside
wonder you were
salmon.
sick.
Salmon.
No wonder you were
know,
sick.
it was a terrible
Lakeside
mistake.
salmons, yes, they swim with the brown trout, don't you know, and they get all
Yes.
muddied up. All right, Vincent, I believe that one is true. Now, 24 cousins, all rich, at the manor. What is being
Yes.
served as hors d'oeuvres? What is being served there?
Hors we had little mini, very
Yes.
fancy quiches. You know, do you know what a quiche is?
You know what a quiche
A
is?
quiche!
It's
I
little-
love quiches. Yes, couches, as we
bitty
used to call them.
quiche,
Yes.
yes.
Couches. Oh, I love a nice
quiche.
couche with a little, little bit of creme fraiche. Cafeteria fresh indeed. Oh, Vincent, okay. Well, I believe you had that snack. And then lastly, your last statement, of course, was, Vincent, forgive me for being absolute ding-dong of a brain today. What was your last statement?
When I was a boy, I wanted to be a fireman.
The fireman. Now,
oh,
did you want to put fires out or put fires on?
Oh, well, I had this little fire truck, you see, as a toy. And
Yes.
apparently I went to my daddy, I was like, Daddy, I want to be a fireman. And you know what he did?
Oh God, I pray.
He got
slapped you.
down,
What happened?
he literally, instantly got that little toy fire truck and he burned it. He just chucked it.
He just chucked it straight in the fire and he was like,
That's
you would not
parenting.
do, yes,
Thank you.
you would not
that's-
do a four-person job, you,
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
I've raised you poorly if you want to be a
Yes.
fireman. He burned it instantly. And my
Ladies and gentlemen,
dreams- Yes.
take a lesson from Vincent's father. That is parenting.
Indeed.
All right, Vincent, I'm going to say that I believe your second statement is incorrect. I believe only 23 of your cousins are rich. The one
yes.
cousin is poor, if I recall. What was his name?
Yes.
His name is Brendan.
Brendan, of course.
Brendan
yes, Brendan the
Brenneville.
Poor.
Yes, but-
Brendan the Poor Brenneville.
Yes, so basically what happened to him is he got into a little bit of a scandal because he married a poor woman, you see. And then, of course, as soon as you marry a poor woman, you get, you know, shunted from the family. You know, we can't have, you know, poor blood in the family. So, and then they got divorced. He
Yes.
took half, she took half his money, you know, never again to be seen. Goodbye, whatever, you know.
Oh my God, that's what we call in the business a big whoopsie fucking do.
Whoopsie.
You hate to see it. Oh, Vincent. Oh, bother. Oh,
Hey, bother.
oh, bother indeed. Well, Vincent, that was a hell of a game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. I want to
Hey,
thank
thank you.
everybody on the show today. I want to thank Mr. Miller for being here. I want to thank my co-host. And I want to thank you, the rich
Yes,
people in
and
the
our
city.
guests, of course, as well. Thank you for ringing in and being a great part of the show. Thank you, of course, to Vangelo.
Be fucking
Oh, don't be a freaking poor people, Los Santos. Don't be a poor
Don't be
person.
a
Good night.
fucking poor person and good night.
Oh.
I'm so fucking rich.